course, are covering the conviction of former Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan. Right now, we are joined by attorney Dick Simpson to kind of break down what happened today. Thanks so much for joining us. I know you've been keeping a close eye on this yourself. First of all, let me just get your overall impressions of what came down today. Are you surprised by anything?
Well, I think it's very important that Mike Madigan was convicted of corruption, and particularly of a corruption enterprise scheme that involved many people at the state capitol. I also think it will fuel an effort to reform state government. State government is even behind Chicago in the ethics laws that it has, and the state legislature has been purposely blocking them for decades now.
So he was found guilty on 10 different charges, 7 not guilty charges. The jury was hung on 6 of them. And the first charge, which was involving racketeering, was the one that everybody said was going to be the toughest one. What kind of sentencing does he face? Let's keep in mind that, you know, he is an 82-year-old man. He has been charged with some serious crimes, found guilty of serious crimes. What kind of sentencing is he going to face?
So Alderman Burke was convicted and got 2 years as a sentence. Rod Blagojevich, as governor, got 14 years. So I would expect the sentencing to fall somewhere between the two. It's hard to predict exactly, but federal convictions are different from state convictions. They have to serve 85% of their time. So yes, being 83, it's going to be a serious problem for Mike Madigan, given his age. It will probably cause a deterioration in health. So it is not a minor matter.
Yeah. Let's talk about Mike McLean. Are you surprised that there was no guilty verdicts brought back against him?
I think what the jury concluded, without having been in the jury room, was that McCain was actually just acting on behalf of Mike Madigan. You have to remember that McLean's already been convicted in the Commonwealth Edison case. So he is not going free. It just means he wasn't convicted on these charges.
So what kind of a message does this send, especially now when President Biden exited with giving a lot of pardons? President Trump has been pardoning people. This is something that was watched very, very closely. Mike Madigan was at one point considered one of the most powerful politicians in Illinois, some even saying he was the real governor. Is there a clear message being sent out with what came down today?
I think there is. You have to remember that Chicago is the most corrupt metropolitan region in the country. Illinois is the 3rd most corrupt state. This means that we are going to have a major push for reform. It means that perhaps we won't tolerate this kind of corruption, this enterprise or criminal scheme that has plagued us ever since the machine politics of Richard J. Daley.
Yeah, and that's another question I want to leave you with, because for decades we have heard about machine politics in Chicago. And I guess the question is, when it comes to politicians, are the days of the machine over?
Well, it's over in one sense. The number of patronage employees has declined from 35,000 as found in the courts for local government to less than 5,000. It's probably only a couple of thousand now. In patronage politics, where people got their job for working their precinct, not doing a good job in government or having qualifications, is on the decline, and it has been for 30 years. Whether we can enact the kinds of changes that are needed, the most important one is campaign finance reform. Particularly Blagojevich, less than Madigan, was convicted of trying to get campaign contributions. That was really at the heart of his trial.
Dick Simpson, thank you so much. Interesting on those numbers there that you just shared with us. We always appreciate your perspective. We want to thank you for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure.